Hi there, it's Dave Altavilla, and today we're going to take a look at one of the latest Android superphones to hit the market, the HTC One M8. Stay with us here for some mobile hot hardware. The HTC One M8 is based on a 5-inch Super LCD 3 display strapped with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for protection. It's also powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor at 2.3 GHz with Adreno 330 graphics. And on board is 2 GB of RAM, 16 or 32 GB of storage, and the ability to expand that to an additional 128 GB via the phone's SD memory card slot. You also get the latest 802.11ac Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4 connectivity, as well as micro USB 2, HDMI, and an IR LED blaster for remote control functionality. The One M8 is also driving Android 4.4.2 KitKat, along with HTC's Sense 6 interface and HTC Blink feed. In the box, you get the standard essentials from HTC, a rather stout lit pack, and this SIM card tray pin key, as well as a standard AC adapter, charger, and USB 2 sync and charge cable. You also get a pair of HTC earbud headphones, and they sound reasonably good for a gimme pair of earbuds. There's a striking design aesthetic about the HTC One M8 that grabs you right away. Like its predecessor, the One M8 is built with a solid brushed aluminum finish that feels totally premium in the hand. The One M8's metal chassis is sort of a pewter color, and it looks super sleek and stylish. The device looks fantastic, and it's by far one of the highest quality design phones in the market currently. In addition, HTC's dual stereo boom sound speakers are very large, and they're here in the front face of the phone, and they offer hands down the best audio quality I've ever heard emit from any smartphone, and even better than 99% of the tablets on the market as well these days. These speakers are that good. In fact, you might actually use them on occasion for something more than just hands-free speakerphone calling. On the front of the device, you'll find the One's 5-megapixel wide-angle lens camera and the phone's earpiece. On top, though it's not our favorite spot, here's the phone's power button, and the rest of the top of the device is an IR blaster to control your TV and other living room devices. On the right edge is the volume rocker and micro SIM card tray, and on bottom are your micro USB and headphone ports. On the left edge is the SD card slot. On the back is where you'll find the One M8's 4-megapixel HD camera with LED flash and its accompanying duo camera depth sensor. More on this later. Finally, again, HTC boom sound speakers are located nicely on the front face of the phone, and they sound fantastic, and they're not muffled by the natural hand position when you're holding the phone. This speaker positioning certainly adds a bit of height and makes the awkward position of the One's top power button even more out of reach, but we'll sacrifice a bit for better sound any day, and boom sound really delivers. HTC's Sense 6 UI with Blink feed is fairly mature at this point, and HTC has done a nice job of offering useful utility without bloating Android KitKat beyond recognition. Some might argue it's actually slightly less obtrusive than Samsung's TouchWiz interface. Swipe in from the left of the screen, and Blink Feed offers a clean, scrollable interface that allows you to pull in your social networking accounts and your favorite site feeds, while also offering pre-curated news highlights. It's a nice, easy way to get status updates, news, and reviews from your favorite places, like HotHardware.com, of course, in a flipboard style setup that neatly organizes things and is easily scrollable. Sense seems more subtle now, and that's for the best. The settings pull-down menu is highly customizable, enabling users to select their favorite settings shortcuts for quick access. But what's most impressive is just how fast we're able to navigate the OS and apps given the horsepower within the device. Without doubt, this is the fastest we've ever felt Android run on a phone, and it's refreshing. In fact, it's kind of addicting. It's safe to say that a new bar has been set with the likes of the HTC One M8 and Samsung's Galaxy S5, both of which are powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor that's on board these devices. This ARM-based processor is clocked 200 MHz slower on the One M8 versus Samsung's recently released Galaxy S5, but we honestly didn't notice any difference in terms of performance and responsiveness with HTC's One M8. The One's 5-inch Super LCD 3 screen is gorgeous, and it's more than competitive with some of the top smartphones on the market today. Here, versus Google's Nexus 5 on the left, the One M8 in the middle, and the Galaxy S5 on the right, you can see available screen real estate is about the same as Google's Nexus 5, but the on-screen menu buttons do eat up some of that screen real estate compared to the Galaxy S5 on the right. Also, we'd say that the Galaxy S5 has a slight edge in terms of viewing angle, though the One is about on par with the Nexus 5 in this area. Overall contrast, color saturation, and sharpness are about as good as the Super AMOLED display in the GS5, though perhaps the GS5 offers a bit more saturation, which may or may not be to your liking. Incidentally, we found HTC's font scaling setup on the web browser to be a bit too tight for our tastes, so we'd recommend sliding the font sizing up a bit if you feel like you're straining to read web pages. The One M8's camera application is probably one of our most favorite camera setups on the market currently. There are plenty of controls to tweak shots to your likings, like exposure compensation, ISO, and white balance settings, but they're arranged in a neat, clean, orderly layout that offers refreshing simplicity. You can also select different effects as well, like sepia, solarize, posterize, aqua, and a few of the other usual bells and whistles. In terms of shot modes, you can get standard camera and video settings, as well as HTC's Zoe camera setting, which shoots 3 seconds of video containing 20 images. You can then pick your favorite shot or merge several shots together from the clip to make one stitched together action shot. It's pretty cool, actually. Like the Galaxy S5, the One also has a dual capture mode that employs both the front and back camera, as well as the dreaded selfie mode, and a Pan 360 panorama mode. Overall image quality from the rear still camera is actually admirable for its 4 megapixel limitation, though we did find ourselves yearning for a bit more resolution at times to increase sharpness and fidelity. Low light performance is actually pretty solid as well. HD video produced from the HTC One M8 is excellent with good image stabilization and ISO adjustments in bright and dark settings. HTC sure does a good job of getting the maximum they can out of that 4 megapixel ultra-pixel camera technology. As we noted earlier, the Duo camera, which is essentially a depth sensor situated atop the actual camera sensor, enables some fairly impressive bokeh effects with the ability to retarget focus on objects in a shot, whether they be in the foreground or background area. This unique camera setup and the feature itself works markedly better than the Samsung Galaxy S5's selective focus feature. In fact, it blows the Galaxy S5 right out of the water, likely due to the secondary Duo camera hardware that's involved in HTC's implementation. The battery in the HTC One is a non-removable 2600 mAh cell that represents a 300 mAh boost over the 2013 HTC One. There's a standard battery saving mode in the HTC One which disables frequent polling when it remains idle for any length of time. And then there's an ultra battery saving mode which effectively kills everything except for the ability to talk and text. It's a nice ace to have up your sleeve, as just 10% of your battery can maintain a call for well over an hour in this mode. In our standard use tests, which involved mixed email checking, web browsing, phone conversations, and photo taking, we managed to get through an entire day easily with 25% of our battery life remaining. In terms of performance, like the Samsung Galaxy S5, the HTC One M8 has game, and it competes well with not only the GS5, but top smartphones on the market currently like the Nexus 5 and the iPhone 5S. In fact, in gaming benchmarks, the One M8's slightly slower clock speed versus the Galaxy S5 doesn't hold it back at all. You can find the HTC One M8 on contract for about $149.99 from Sprint, AT&T, and Verizon, and it represents an excellent offering in Android superphones, and it's in fact one of our favorite phones to hit the market so far this year. Make sure you stop by HotHardware.com for the full review with all of our benchmark numbers and battery testing, and be sure to like this video if you appreciate our efforts, and subscribe to our channel here for more reviews, webcast, news, and event coverage. I'm Dave Altavilla for Hot Hardware with the HTC One M8. Thanks for stopping by.